I think I'm live. I hope I'm live. Okay. Well, welcome to the flipping. What's the name of the channel? Welcome to the flipping and wholesaling and flipping. What's this called? Flipping and wholesaling in New York show. I'm Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping and wholesaling houses, and if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. Now, so I got a question, and I put that in the title exactly how it was asked, right? What is the best place to get leads to fix and flip properties? Now, it's an interesting question, and let me explain what I mean. So, for the first 4 years I was in business, all I did was buy properties at auctions, and I got renovated them and sold them. So I fixed and flipped for 4 years. That's from 2013 to 2017. Now, I never ever considered anything a lead. The concept of marketing and leads did not come to me till 2017 when I switched from doing that to direct to seller marketing. Now I have a concept of leads. I have a concept of prospects. So I get lists of prospects, people that are more likely to sell for a specific reason. I reach out to them. Or I have inbound leads, people that reach out to me via pay-per-click or some other method. And those are leads. I define a lead as someone who's looking to sell a property in an area I want to buy. That's a lead. For fix and flip, I never considered anything a lead, right? There were properties at auction that I thought I wanted to buy. I went to the auction, and if they did show up on that day's auction, because a lot of properties get canceled, and if the bank's upset price, which is the minimum the bank will take, was less than I wanted to spend, and then if I was the top bidder, I got it. But I never considered it leads. So if you want a real answer for where to get properties to fix and flip, my answer would be the easiest is to contact your local wholesaler. So if you're looking in Nassau County, you contact me. I put out lately, 3 or sometimes 4 properties a month that I think are great properties for someone to fix and flip. There are other wholesalers, not many, but probably 3, 4, 5 other guys, and I can give you their information and you can get on their list. That's the easiest. Buy from a wholesaler, right? And the idea that you're going to get screwed by a wholesaler, you're going to buy a property for the price you want to buy it for. That's the easiest way to find properties to fix and flip, right? You could also go to the auctions like I did. So that it used to be in Nassau County that it was weekly every Tuesday. I spent every Monday and Tuesday for 4 years on that auction. And you can buy lists, you can get lists anywhere in Long Island, really anywhere in Long Island, from a company called LI Profiles or from Property Shark, and they'll give you a list of what's coming out. You have to pay for those lists, and that could be your leads if you look at that list as a lead list. But again, it's different now in Nassau. Instead of doing it weekly because the pandemic screwed everything up to doing it daily, it's harder. However, if that is an easy way, liprofiles.com or Property Shark. Property Shark, you're going to pay per count. Both of them you're going to pay per count. The LI Profiles, I think, only does Nassau and Suffolk. But I haven't ordered from them since 2017, a long time ago. Now, if you're looking for leads, which I define as sellers who want to sell in an area that I want to buy, that's a whole different question, right? And you certainly can market direct to seller and then buy those properties and fix and flip them. Absolutely, right? I market, and sometimes I do that. So if you want the best place to get those leads, that means seller leads. So there are 2 places I would recommend you go. The first is PropStream, right? And I have an affiliate discount code that gets you a discount. I think it's called what the hell is it? redatanow.com. Sign up. It's a 7-day free trial. You don't have to pay for anything. After 7 days, they'll bill your credit card, and it's $97 a month. Although I give back some of that money, and after 3 months, and then you can download up to 10,000 lists of up to 10,000 prospects per month. So that's easy way. Another good way is Listability, and you should probably use my code for that too. That's listability.com/RPB for my company, Real Property Buyers. And that's going to be more expensive to get a list, maybe $500 or $600 to get a list of 10,000. But if you use my code, someone will help you with it. And then that's better data. right? It's better data. It's the reason why it costs more. Now that list, if you get a list of around 10,000, 9,000, 10,000, that's going to last you. It should last 6 to 9 months. So don't think this is something I need to spend $500-$600 on every month. You can even use that list for a year if you want to, and that data is a little better than PropStream, and that's why you pay more. There's also a company called ListSource, but if you're getting a list already and you're spending ListSource a little cheaper than PropStream than Listability, I think Listability's data is better. So those are the two places you can get lists of seller leads. Now then you need to then contact. So that just gives you names and addresses. You're going to then need to skip trace that list, right? So skip tracing is the way you get phone numbers, possible phone numbers from names and addresses. So that will cost you somewhere between $500 and $1,000, depending on the size of the list and depending on how many hits you get, because sometimes you're not going to get any information on that, and they don't. Most places won't charge you for that, for the names you give them that they don't provide a phone number for. And then you need to either call that list, text that list. You can also mail the list if you don't want to skip trace it, but mailing is expensive. Postage keeps going up. Postcards now are almost 50 cents a postcard. And you can also RVM that list. I use that, a ringless voicemail list. So those are the ways you can go out there. But then again, you're not buying a list of leads. You're buying a list of prospects. Until somebody raises their hand and says, I'm interested in selling, I consider that a prospect. Once they raise their hand, then they may or may not be a lead, right? They may not be a lead for you, right? So a couple of ways that I monetize my leads is that I also take listings. So if somebody wants full price, I'll take the listing, right? I have a full-time disposition manager. She runs the listing. I don't have to deal with it. I have a bunch of realtors work for me also who can do that. So that's one way to monetize those leads. Now, if you are someone who says, I am never going to get licensed and I never want to deal with a seller who wants full price, then you may define a lead differently. You may define a lead as someone who's willing to take a huge discount, or you may define a lead as someone who's incredibly motivated and wants to sell right away. Sorry. I'm just getting nonstop calls. So you have to define a lead and what works for your business. But the way to get leads, right? So in most parts of the country, it's much easier to get leads, right? You can get a code violation list from the building department. That's a great list. You can get tax delinquent lists from your county. That's amazing. Very hard to get that by us. Very hard to get that in the boroughs. Very hard to get that in Nassau or Suffolk County. Not impossible in Suffolk, not impossible in other places, but very hard. Once a year you can get it in Nassau. It's very hard. Those are great leads, right? Someone who's not paying taxes, think about what that means. It means, number one, there probably isn't a first lien mortgage holder on it, because most first lien mortgage holders will pay the taxes, even if you didn't escrow for taxes when they took out the loan. Just a basic breakdown. I was in the mortgage business for 17 years. Most first lien mortgage holders, most mortgagors, so the person taking the mortgage, the guy buying the house, or borrowing or refinance, is going to escrow for taxes and insurance. I mean, he's going to have his lender pay the taxes and insurance, and they're going to add 1/12 of that every month to his monthly payment. And they're going to pay it when it's due, right? It might be due quarterly, it might be due once a year. Even if you don't escrow for taxes, which is an option most of the time, if the first lien mortgage holder is not getting paid, they'll still pay the taxes, because they want to make sure that they don't lose the property to somebody who buys the tax liens. Right, so that's a whole other topic, though, discussion. But so if somebody has unpaid taxes, very often it means there's no first mortgage, which means there's tons of equity in the property, 100% equity in general, and it means that there's some kind of financial distress. Now, it might be that the guy just forgot his payment. It might be that he dropped dead and there are no heirs, and it's going to take 5 years to figure out what's going on. But it's a good indication that somebody's got some problems. If the property is vacant and the taxes aren't being paid, that's great. Now, you can get lists of vacants from PropStream or Listability. Absentee owners, people that just don't live there, that's good too. And you want to sort of massage all these different things that you can do. Older people that have been in the property a long time, that's an indication they may want to sell. Absentee, someone not living there, very good. That's also good. Vacant properties, very good. So you want to massage all these criteria, either with Listability or with PropStream, to get a list of people that are more likely to sell. But I wouldn't say, those are prospects, and you turn them into leads when you call them and they say, yeah, I'm interested in selling. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in finding out more about one-on-one coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in finding out more about a study at home program I have, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you are interested, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any media channel, please hit the thumbs up. Please keep the questions coming via comments. I post 5 times a week. Your comments really help me. This came by request. You can ask a question about anything. It does not have to be about the video you're watching. If it's something simple, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's something I've covered recently, I'll send you a link to a video on it. And if it's something new or something I haven't covered in a while, I will do a brand new video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching.